3, see action at number 3 when they go to those sets. So what kind of offense is this that Shanahan is bringing here?
See the Cleveland Browns of last year. It's not gonna be that Shanahan offense from Washington, obviously, because that was a lot of pistol stuff, a lot of read option stuff. But it's gonna be more of what you saw last year with the Cleveland Browns, the typical fullback, running back, tight end, 2 wide receiver type deal, the typical pro set type stuff, which doesn't incorporate a lot of that 3rd wide receiver. So the basic concept is that there's not going to be a big differentiation in the productivity of the 3rd and the 4th guy. So you might as well make the 4th guy your 3rd guy, and get rid of Harry Douglas. I think Harry was going to be due like $3-point-something million this year.
Yeah, 3.5. I think it was 3.5.
So, you save a little money under the cap with that release, and Devin gets to play, and then Devin, for what it's worth, if that's the case, if your 3rd and your 4th ain't gonna be that much different, he brings more value in the kicking game. So that if you're gonna make a differentiation, that's it. He's gonna bring you some value in the punt return game, not necessarily the kickoff game.
So basically, what you're telling me, this is what you're telling me in the nutshell, Dom.
Okay.
Is that they're going back to what they were originally doing that was working. With just when we had like Oakland Haley and Michael Turner, like the
because it's a Shanahan, you can probably assume there's going to be more of a zone blocking scheme. That Houston Texans type deal where the Denver's going to go to it as well with Kubiak. They're going to go to more of that zone blocking, one cut downhill thing, which I think is going to be good for the kid. They drafted last year, Devontae Freeman. I think that fits his style pretty well. He's not a very, a guy with a lot of top end speed, but, you give him one cut downhill, like Arian Foster. He's not a fast dude, but, to me, he's the most underrated running back in the league. Like, he's one of the best running backs, but no one ever talks about him when they had those conversations about the best back. He kind of gets left out of the conversation a lot of times. But, yeah, I think that style is going to help. It's going to help Matt Ryan out a little bit, in the play action game as well, if they decide to go that way. Because, again, the only thing you can go from is that it's a Shanahan thing. The dad, the son, same deal. Play action, deep route, deep post routes off the play action and things like that. So, obviously, Harry. I mean, think about those old Denver teams, right? You had Rod Smith, and you had Ed McCaffrey, and you had Terrell Davis, and you had the fullback, and you had the tight end. That's what you had. So, if you want to kind of get a visualization, I guess that's what it's going to be. No one's going to really know until we get into like training camp and all that kind of stuff, and after the draft, and we see what kind of players they bring in as far as to help the offense out, because they still got to replace Justin Blaylock some kind of way. For what it's worth, he's a guy who didn't miss many games. Say what you want to, before they get him out of Texas a couple years ago, right? He's a Texas kid, right?
Yeah.
University of Texas, yeah. So he didn't miss very many games, if any. I think he missed his first game ever this year in his entire career. And there's something to be said about that durability. So you got to replace that. You got you went and got your left tackle last year. God, please, like this. What's the kid's name that played left tackle before him? Lamar Holmes. There's no way that kid should ever see the football field again. Like the whole the Lamar Holmes era is over. The experiment, you tried it and it failed miserably.
Oh yeah, that's been over now.
Yes.
That ain't working.
So, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how all these things play out as far as player movement, the draft goes. As we do more podcasts and as we get closer to the draft, we'll get more in depth as far as player profiles go. For the people who listen to us here in Atlanta, the one thing that everyone is in total agreement about is that the Falcons will be drafting a pass rusher. Now, it could be the kid from Kentucky.
No doubt.
Could be the kid from Florida. Could be the kid from Clemson. It could be the kid from Missouri. It could be the kid from USC. He's an inside guy, but whatever. Something that affects the quarterback of the other team. That's where they will be going with that 8th pick.
We have no choice. We have no choice but to go in that direction. Right here, right now. We have no choice.
Yeah, and I mean, for what it's worth, it's
now,
a bit.
now, real quick now, let me ask you this.
Okay.
The whole piping, the crowd noise, the fake crowd noise into the stadium. What round draft picks can we be finding? You know, because from what I'm hearing, they're saying that for the most part, the Falcons have already owned up to it. So
yeah, they've kind of let that whole thing kind of die. It'll probably be something so insignificant, you know, some 6th round pick or something crazy, and some some $20,000 fine. Or something. It's gonna be something. I mean, think about it. For Spygate, the Patriots lost one of their first round, which I thought was so ridiculous. They had 2 first-round picks that year, so they lost the one in the back end of the draft. The one that they got from, I think it was like the Raiders or something, or from Tampa Bay or somebody that was like number 11 or 10. They got to keep that one. Okay, who really got hurt? Some kid that would have gotten drafted, because now the draft is now a pick shorter than it would have been. So now some kid that would have realized his dream of being drafted did not get drafted because the Patriots spied on somebody. Yeah, that'll show him. You sure did show him, Roger. He's an idiot too, dude. Like, Roger Goodell is a failure. Like, every time somebody sue him, they win. You notice that? Like, every time. Like, Adrian Peterson was like, no, you can't suspend me. Watch this. I'm going to court. Court was like, yep, you're right. You can't suspend him. Spygate. Not Spygate, Bountygate. Right? Well, what we'll do is we'll bring in the old commissioner, Commissioner Tagliabue, and he'll settle this. He was like, nope. It's unfair. Everybody go back to work, except for you, Sean Payton, because you don't have a union. Everyone else go back to work.
Right.
Yeah, every time somebody sues this fool, they win. He's such a penny-waste dude. God, he thinks he's so tough, and yeah, I'm gonna fix the NFL. Back up, homeboy. Everything you do is wrong. When the suspension break rights,
well, you know,
like, if anything, like the whole Ray Rice thing. If anything, man, like, stick to your guns. You suspend this dude for 2 games, stick to it. Just run it. Like, don't be the dude that like, oh, we didn't know it was that bad. What part of he punched the woman unconscious and drug her out of an elevator? Don't you understand? Like,
right. And see, that's what I was about to say. Like, yeah, you got to stick to your guns. You can't say one thing and then turn back around and be like, oh no. You know, once you start hearing everybody complain like, oh no, I can't believe it. Then you got all these women advocacy groups coming out, and you know, and then you change course because you've already laid that suspension down that was being served already.
Right.
I mean,
right. And that's what the judge said. The judge was like, hold on, what?
Idiot.
Yeah. Here's $2 million, Ray. Good luck in your future endeavors. Idiot.
Oh, he got that. At least they told him in person.
Yeah, good luck. Well, they told me in person too, I think. Or did they not? I don't know. Yeah, when I got fired from old CBS over there, unceremoniously let go. I hate that too.
Hey,
like, you say that a lot. You say let go. Like, I didn't get let go. I got fired because guess what? Had I had my choice, I would have stayed. They didn't let me go. I wasn't like, please, can I go? And they was like, yeah, we'll let you go. No, they was like, you're fired.
Well, you know, I'm in the same boat with you.
Yeah.
A lot of things since the last time we were on there together.
Yeah, they didn't let me go. Had I had my choice, I'd still be there, wreaking havoc. Yeah, they let some bum on air host get me fired. How'd that work? Some old hack, Dwayne Walker. God, he's so terrible. I wonder if he still worked there, dude. He's the worst ever, dude. He got mad. I was laughing at him. Dude got mad.
Crazy. I'm sure he does.
God, he's so terrible.
He fit into the whole, status quo. So.
And for the people listening, like I say a lot of people are terrible, and people might be hearing this and be like, well, dude, you're terrible. I may be, but here's the difference. I respect the game. I respect the game. Like, I put effort into being terrible. Like, it's the dudes that are terrible who just like, were like, all right, I'm cool. I'm cool with being terrible. I'm not going to read anything. I'm not going to formulate a conscious opinion about anything. I'm just going to play these little silly on-air games with the people like, hey, call me up and tell me what your favorite Falcons moment of 2014 is. Yeah, crickets. This is why it's so great right now, because we can do this without phone calls, just me and my dude just talking. Yeah, well, like the way I was taught this game, you act always as though the phones are broken. And in this case, they basically are. No phone calls. You can tweet us. Like, while you download this and listen to it, go ahead and tweet me. tweet us, I should say, at Sports Kings Live. You can Instagram something stupid, preferably Sports Kings Live as well, or you can email us something if you got more than 140 characters worth of stuff to tell us. SportsKingsATL@gmail.com. Simple. We got about 5 minutes left in this last hour. I don't know. This whole thing has been just derailed from the beginning. Like this, we've had no structure. We've had
absolutely nothing.
No topical integrity. Just, I mean,
but it's okay.
Yeah, and that's what it is, man. Just
okay.
have a conversation with your dude, man, and let the chips fall where they may. So yeah, it's a good chance
we've done well. We've done really well.
In the last 5 minutes, and we'll get to talk about this more as the days and the weeks move on. But I got to ask you about this. First of all, that Ronda Rousey thing is something serious. Like, did you see that? Ronda Rousey, the MMA chick, she beat that broad in 14 seconds. And here's what's so funny about that. As soon as it happened, I was like, dang, I could Instagram the whole fight. And I was just reading today, 3 days before the fight, she was like, yeah, I want to get it over with quick so I can put the whole thing on Instagram. That's pretty awesome, dude. But no.
Yeah,
go ahead.
She's awesome.
What I want to ask you about, Mayweather Pacquiao. No, it's finally going to happen.
Yeah.
Finally going to happen, right? Yeah. And we got about 4 minutes. We got about 4 minutes left here.
All right, keep me on track. Let's go.
The big question here is, what outcome is better for the sport of boxing? Because you know my opinion on boxing. The thing is on straight life support.
Man, Michael, let me tell you. I promise you. I wrote this article, and I got a couple places I'm trying to just get it posted. But I wrote this article just the other day, right? Because just to stay fresh, I still write. You know what I'm saying? When something's going on, and big boxing head. I love. I've been waiting on this matchup forever.
Right.
But the article that I wrote, it said, like, basically, dude, like.
Where can people find the article at? Let the people know where they can read it at.
They can't find it anywhere yet. I'm trying to get somebody to just. I'm trying to get it somewhere. Like,
all right.
But I'm saying I wrote this.
Okay.
But Muhammad Ali retired 34 years ago, right?
Okay.
Nobody argues that Muhammad Ali was simply the greatest boxer ever. Nobody ever argues that, right?
Some people do.
You know,
some people holler out Jack Johnson. Some people talk about Sonny Liston.
Yeah,
some people talk about Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah, they do. But you know what I'm saying. Like, for the most part, I mean, you know, you have those that argue. But even in that, those guys all suffer losses in their career. Okay? So they all were humanized. So, you know, the true mark of a boxing champion or just a champion is not how many fights you reel off in a row. It's how you rebound from that loss.
Oh, wait a minute.
You know what I'm saying?
That doesn't sound American at all to me. If I can, dig into my inner Shannon Sharp, I ain't learned nothing from a loss that I couldn't learn from a win.
I know. But what I'm saying is that a Mayweather loss, and they rematch in November, and he turns around and wins. I mean, it ends for him as a much better story, like, because it's like he didn't dodge anybody, and that's the one thing that everybody says about, you know, this thing with him and Pacquiao is that he's been ducking and dodging Pacquiao and just hand choosing fighters, and, you know, taking fighters that are ranked beneath Pacquiao and just sticking around him. So, you know, for legacy purposes, you know.
But for the sport itself, and we got about a minute to go. For the sport itself,
I think Mayweather needs to lose.
See, I agree.
Because then that sets up a rematch, and it creates a bigger buzz for the sport of boxing.
I totally 100% agree with you that for the sport, it would be probably better if he did lose. I don't think he will lose. I don't think he needs to lose. I'm not that dude. Like I said, I appreciate greatness.
I didn't say he needs to. I'm saying not like.
Well, you said for his legacy, he needs to. I think his legacy is cool without any losses. Like, win everything, because I love greatness. Like, I was the dude who 2007 with the Patriots, I was like, they need to lose. But then when they got to the Super Bowl, I was like, now I want to see history now. And they end up losing.
Tell me the last boxer to retire undefeated, Mike.
I don't know, dude. You know, you asking the wrong person, cuz. I don't know. Why would I know that?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
Have no idea.
Nobody knows. Yeah, because right.
That's going to do it for your boys. Episode 1, Episode 2 of the Sports Kings podcast will be up for you and yours to download. You can reach us at Sports Kings Live on Twitter, at Sports Kings Live.